Hi, how are you, my younger brothers? I'm your elder brother, Kiran Roy. So, I'm taking forward where I had left in my last video. I was handling the psychological manipulation, in which I had mentioned the gaslighting aspect in great detail. I had explained. So, I'm taking it further from there. So, in psychological manipulation, my next point is blame shifting. Now, what happens under this scenario is whatever happens, suppose if anything happens, your wife or your girl or your girlfriend for that matter, she will never take that blame on herself. She will directly and conveniently shift it to somebody else. For example, one of my clients, he had lost his wallet. He was searching frantically for it. He was not getting it anywhere in the house. He was getting late for office. He was getting late for work. He was not getting it anywhere. So he called out for his wife. Hey, baby, hey, darling, can you help me find my wallet? I'm getting late for work. She directly placed the blame on her maid. She said, your maid must have misplaced it. She must have stolen it. I did not see. So directly and conveniently, she shifted it onto the maid of their house. She was a full-time maid. So on further investigation, after a few days, we learnt that his wife had taken the wallet to withdraw some cash and she forgot to keep it back in place. So the wallet was found somewhere else which his wife had kept somewhere else. So what she conveniently did was, though she very well knew that it's she who had taken that wallet to withdraw some cash, she could have easily said that yes, I had taken your wallet because I needed some cash. But instead of that, she directly did a manipulation and she directly placed all the blame on her maid. So that's a very common psychological that's a very common psychological manipulation tactic which women use, that whenever they want to hide something or whenever they don't want you to know the truth, they will directly indulge in blame shifting. They will directly put the blame on somebody else. So that's a very common thing which I've personally studied, hence I'm mentioning it in my video. They won't think twice before putting the blame onto somebody else. This is a very unethical behavior, very unethical way of functioning, and I completely feel disgusted by such kind of behavior. But my job is to place it out in the open because I've personally seen this in my one-on-one sessions. Personally, I have seen this happening, and this is just one example which I gave you. There are many such examples. You can derive the examples by yourself because these are all normal and common occurrences. This can happen to you also, not just this particular example, but anything related to shifting of the blame. They will always say, even in the office, if they have not done the work, they will shift the blame to somebody else. She did not allow me to work. Suppose if the boss scolds one lady, why didn't you complete the work? She will put the blame on somebody else. He did not give me the file in time. Blame shifting. They will always place the blame on somebody else. Except themselves, they will have everybody else to blame. But they won't take the responsibility on themselves. That's a very pathetic behavior. And I personally feel very much disgusted by this kind of behavior. Blame shifting is like reaching like the bottom pit. My next point of psychological manipulation tactic which women use is creating jealousy. So what they do is they try to create jealousy by indulging in talking to their exes or getting close to one of your colleagues for that matter. So this is their way of getting back to you. Because one of my clients, one is to one clients had faced the same scenario, that they had a fight. Basically, they had a fight. My client had a fight with his wife. They were not talking for 7 days. 1 week passed, 2 weeks passed. Third week also, nobody was ready to budge. So the silent battle was going on. The silent war was going on. One fine day, my client realized that she is talking to her ex, and he stumbled upon that. Directly, she was not doing it. She was doing it in a very discreet fashion. But my client somehow stumbled upon proof that she's in touch with her ex. She's talking with her ex. So this is what happens whenever they are withdrawing, whenever they had a fight. So this was her way of getting back. This was her manipulation tactic basically. This was her psychological manipulation tactic to get back and to avenge, to take revenge on her husband. So how her method was creating jealousy by getting back in friendly terms with her ex. And that was, she definitely succeeded in her mission. Who would not? Which husband would want her, which husband would want his wife to be getting in touch back with her ex? Nobody. But in this case, she was not at all remorseful. She was completely okay with talking to her ex, because she was saying that you are not talking to me, we are on war. So you cannot tell me whom to talk to, whom I should not talk to, because we are, as it is, we are fighting. We are not in proper talking terms. So I can talk to my ex. So this was her explanation. So these are all, like, whatever I'm saying is based on real life incidents. So I can easily say that they can go to any lengths. If they are, suppose if they are in a fight with their spouse, women can go to any lengths, even get back to your ex, even get back to their ex for that matter. So this is like a very common form which is creating jealousy. Like, they will withdraw from you and they will get back to their ex or some other man for that matter. I mean, on many other cases, I have seen the women getting back. In fact, they are creating friendship with some other third party, with other third person, a total stranger for that matter. So they can indulge in these tactics just with the intention to get back, to create a huge jealousy, to give trouble, basically, to give that person pain. That, see, look, I am now flirting with somebody else, because they very well know that this is a surefire success thing. This is a trump card, because this gesture can sadden and hurt any man on planet. No man, no husband, no boyfriend would want their wife, even though they are fighting, but nobody can see their wife flirting with some other person. But they blatantly do this just to get back, just to avenge, just to take revenge with their husbands. So this is a very common trait which I have seen. Next strategy which is commonly used by women is smear campaign. Suppose they had a breakup, a couple had a breakup, or they had a fight for that matter, even if they have not broken up officially, but they are going through a fight, they are going through a no contact period, for temporary no contact period. One of my clients, what I had seen, he had consulted me because his wife, she was indulging in smear campaign in social media, everywhere. They had separated, actually. They were contemplating divorce. But instead of sorting out the matter amicably and in a good fashion, like adults, like to mature adults, the lady decided to indulge in smear campaign. She went in her Instagram and she posted all sorts of bullshit, basically, against the husband in the social media platform. So this was a very cheap, below the belt tactic which was used by the wife of my client. And, like, this is a case which I've seen, like, many women indulging in. They indulge in smear campaign by bad mouthing their partner, be it their husband, be it their boyfriend. They spread lies everywhere about the person. They say that he's sexually incapable. They spread all sorts of lies. I've seen this happening with majority of my one is to one, that whenever they had a breakup, one common factor which will be that he's a psycho. One thing which they definitely do is they will always go around telling people he's a psycho first, and second is he is incapable of satisfying me physically. These two things are the most common words, most common sentences used in their smear campaign goals, and which is completely unethical, baseless, and these are all complete lies, because whomever I had consulted, none of them had any of such problems. None of them were sexually incapable. None of them were psychos, as they claim. Because one common factor, whenever you ask somebody, whenever you speak to a girl about her ex, what's the first dialogue they blurt out? They always say he was a psycho. How many have heard this? Everybody will say the same thing, he was a psycho. But whenever you speak to their exes, which I do because I do counsel them, they are no psychos by any means. They are all proper good people. But it's their wives who spread the smear campaign saying that he's a psycho, he's this, he's that, his parents are bad, he doesn't give me money. Due to him, I tried to commit suicide due to him. All lies. They all weave all sorts of lies just to put them in a bad spot, just to smear their image, just to destroy their image. So they are like born with these manipulation tactics. Women, they can go to any lengths. They can go to any lengths just to take vengeance by destroying their character, by destroying their image. That they do very frequently. Their next tactic is feigning innocence. Now, suppose the husband has come to know, the husband came to know that the lady in question is indulging in smear campaigns. Just for an example, I am saying. And when the husband confronts the lady, that why are you talking behind my back? That is when they will behave as if, no, I did not do anything of that sort. They will feel complete innocence. They will behave as if I am the most pure person in the whole world. I can't even think of doing such an act. Somebody else must have told them, but I did not tell them. They completely take back all the words, as in they feign complete innocence. They say that I did not do anything of that sort, when in reality it was they themselves who had smeared the all the, she indulgent smear campaigns to, and by bad mouthing him. So they completely say that no, I have not done anything. I'm the most innocent person on earth. I can't even think of doing that. So they will. This is a very common trait. When confronted, they will they will act like as if they are the most innocent person on earth. And this is something which is a very common trait, very common. Everywhere you might have seen that. They will always feel innocence. Like bullshit behavior. Next common form of manipulation tactic which they use is damsel in distress act. They will try to show the whole world that I'm completely incapable of doing anything so that they can get the favors done to them by others. They will show that they are having huge loans, that they are in so much trouble, that the recovery agents are constantly calling her to recover her dues. All sorts of stories she will weave around how, in what sort of deep trouble she is. And somehow they will try to extract money from you by showing them that they are in distress. Many instances you will see, they're always crying in front of you that I need money. They won't directly demand money from you, but they will. This is a classic thing. They will say that the recovery agents are after me. The recovery agent came to my school. I was in touch with one teacher. She was the same concept she used, that the recovery agents are reaching my school. They are asking for money. They are asking for the dues back. What should I do? So in return, they expect you to pay her bills, credit card bills for that matter. So damsel in distress is a very common manipulation tactic which women use to get access to something from your end. And more often than not, it's financial access. Basically, financial monetary help is what they need by this. And coming to my next point, it is gold digging. Gold digging is basically another manipulation tactic which women indulge in. Gold digging, as the name suggests, it is just for monetary benefits. They can go to any limits, they can go to anything, because for them it is only money which matters, nothing else. So even gold digging comes under a manipulation tactic itself. Next point is very much rampant in India these days: weaponizing divorce and alimony. So what they will do is they will weaponize their power which they hold in the form of divorce and alimony. So they will start threatening that if you do this, I will apply for a divorce and I will demand a hefty alimony from you. Because they are very well aware that the laws are completely in favor of the women at today's date. So all the laws are completely biased and completely in favor of the women. So they have a clear upper hand in this case. So in case of any, suppose if a girl is demanding some monetary benefit from her husband, and if the husband is refusing due to any reason, I have seen many cases in which the wife directly threatens her husband, saying that if you don't give me this amount, I will directly apply for divorce and I'll demand a hefty alimony from you. So the husband is trapped, because even the husband is aware that the amount which she is demanding, say 5 lakhs for example, because this actually happened with one of my clients. Wife was demanding 5 lakhs not for her, but to give it to her sister. Her sister wanted that money. Her sister was also married, and she required some money. I don't know for what, but wife was insisting that you have to give me 5 lakhs so that I can give it to my sister. And the husband was like, hey, my duty is to look after you, to look after the kids. I cannot go around like distributing money to your entire family. I have not taken the reins of your entire family in my hands. Your sister has to look after herself. Because my duty, being a man, being a gentleman, is to look after my own parents, my own wife, my own kids. I cannot give 5 lakhs to your sister just like that, because I already have lots of load on my head. But the wife was having none of it. Wife directly said, either give me that 5 lakhs or I'm going to slap a divorce on you, and I'll be asking for a hefty alimony, which will be like 10 times of this amount. My client was forced to cough up that amount, which is a clear case of manipulation. Very bad form of manipulation, I would say. And this is just one example. These cases are happening, these cases are rampant basically. In some form or the other, this is happening throughout the country, and men are like very, very upset regarding this as of today's date. Next manipulation tactic which women use is withholding financial contribution. Suppose both husband and wife decide to buy a house. Both of them are working, because this is what personally had happened with one of my clients. Both of them were working. And both decided to move out from their parents' house, from the husband's parents' house, and both of them decided to pitch in equally to pay the EMIs. Now, first 2 or 3 months, the wife paid the EMIs right in time. But after 3 months, she started withholding the payment. And she was expecting the husband to do the needful. Though she was working all right. It's not as if she was out of work or anything. She was getting her salary right in time. But suddenly she withdrew. She was like, no, you are the husband, you are the man of the house, you have to do. I have no such responsibilities. I am under no pressure to provide for the house, because it's the man's responsibility to provide for me. And like that, she suddenly stopped. So that was a huge manipulation tactic from her end, because though she is expecting everything in return, she is expecting everything the husband from the husband, whatever. I mean, it is not as if that she is saying that, okay, I won't pay the amount, but you can also stop giving me all the things which you were giving me. Had she said something of that sort, it would have been fair, that I don't want to pay the EMI, but you also don't have to give me all the monetary benefits which you used to give me, which you used to provide for me. But in this case, what happened in my client's case, she was expecting everything like it was before. All the foreign vacations he has to pay, the children's schooling fees, everything, all the expenses the husband has to pay. Husband has to pay for her shopping, clothes, everything. But she won't pay the EMI, which was decided prior. It's not as if it was not decided. It was completely decided well in advance. But still, she broke the deal, and she was like, I won't pay, but you have to pay everything to me, or as usual, they threaten to leave and put all sorts of allegations on them. That's their best resort. So this is one common trait which I am seeing on a day-by-day basis now. Now my next point is playing the long game. This is a very dangerous tactic which I have seen. Personally, I have seen in my clients that the women pretends to love the husband very much, that I love you very much, I love you, this, that. I mean, they will pretend to be in love with that husband, but in return, they need something. They need some, more often than not, it's something related to finances. Either they need a own house, they need a big car, or something of that sort. So they will pretend to be in love with that husband, and they always keep on demanding that I want a new house or a new big car, something of that sort. Once they get it, their love stops. So this is one common trait you will see, you will encounter playing the long game. As in, they're playing the long game by providing the husband with lots of love, by showering the husband with lots of affection, care, cooking for him, making him feel special. But once she gets access to her target, whatever was her target, everything stops in a jiffy, because she knows, now I've got it. I received whatever I wanted. Now why should I give him the care, the love? Because that was all made up. That was all fake. So this is a very common trait which I have seen. My last point is the most commonest point. I think that's the most common point that I have ever seen. That is withholding sex. I guess you all must have gone through this at some point or the other. To have their way, they always have this trump card of withholding sex. They will deny it completely. They will deny it, be it weeks, be it month, until the man succumbs and gives in to their demands. So this is one common trait which is like, even you must have encountered that. That is nothing but a manipulation tactic basically. That's a big time bait. That's a manipulation tactic of the worst kinds. Because in love, it should just follow. It should just smoothly just flow basically. There should be nothing like, if you give me this, only then I will give you the love that you want. Love should be free flowing, man. It cannot be like conditional. That if you give me this, only then I will do that. Yesterday, I was reading one newspaper article in which one woman from Tamil Nadu, I guess, she was demanding 5,000 rupees per night just to have sex with her husband. What kind of love is that? What kind of married relationship is that? I am not aware. So if you ask me, I will say stay away from marriage, because marriage is the biggest scam. There is nothing like that. That's the biggest scam. There is no bigger scam than marriage, because marriage is not marriage. It's just nothing but a business transaction. It's a business deal that you give me money, you give me riches, you give me diamond necklace, give me foreign vacations, I'll give you sex in return. It's nothing but a business deal. So why do you want to get into a business deal? If you have to do business only, do it. Go to Thailand. Go to Thailand and do boom boom. Why you have to run after somebody with just one pathetic woman for the rest of your life, only to be sued and to pay them huge damages and alimony? What's the point in doing that? I don't understand that. So if you ask me, I'm strictly against marriage. I will never ever give you tips or tricks or in how to find the ideal woman. Many people ask me. That's why I'm saying, many people comment that, sir, can you please tell me how do what qualities should I look for in my future wife? Or dude, stay away from wedding. It's of no use. That's the biggest scam. All right. Jai Hind.